When I'm not championing my new life's work at forcing Mexican restaurants to provide an adequate amount of tortillas to their fajitas, I have never once seen the ratio correct. I like to answer questions I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Hey Sean, if there was a pentatonic rainbow, what two colors would get shafted? I think we can all agree that indigo is like the Ed O'Brien of the rainbow colors, so indigo has probably got to go. And orange, I think also too. Like if you have red and you have yellow, you don't really have a need for orange. So that would just leave a solid pentatonic rainbow, which if you saw the pentatonic rainbow, I think you would still be like, yeah, that's still a rainbow. Very few people would be like, where's indigo? Where's orange? That is my answer, and that's really the only answer, to be honest. Okay, I have a question. What did you find hard about playing guitar other people found or find easy? For me, learning to play the open A major chord took ages, but I found learning the D major, E major, C, and even the F bar chord easier for some reason. Great question. I think we kind of take for granted a lot of things that maybe when we were first starting out as a beginner, things that may have been more difficult that we don't even remember now. For me, it was absolutely pull-offs. I sucked at pull-offs. I was a demon with the hammer-ons. I was out of the womb hammering on like a boss. But pull-offs, I remember the first 2 years I played, I could never get a pull-off to actually sound good. It would always be like, and if I left it, it wouldn't be loud enough. And if I really tried to pull off like you should, I'd be like, I had just no dexterity for pulling off. But through, concentrated effort, now I can pull off with the best of them. But I do remember those first few years, not proud of my pull-off abilities. Great instruction, thank you. Just began learning to play, still learning chords. How much knowledge would you suggest before jamming with friends? I think jamming with friends is something you gotta do ASAP. Even if you don't feel like you're ready, just throw yourself into the fire. That is the number one best way to always get better. And that's why, starting with a pentatonic shape, just one pentatonic shape that you can do, or a minor scale shape or something like that, is really, really gonna help you out. That's why I kind of started making these pentatonic videos, because everybody loves the pentatonic scale. But if you can learn position 1, pentatonic, and be able to count root notes, like E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, really play that one position over any minor chord, even if you're jamming with people, unless it's like a prog rock band or something, which would be weird if you just jumped into like a prog rock jam, unprepared. But just identify one minor chord that they're using and stick that pentatonic shape over that one chord and just really start using your ear to kind of get into it. Because like I said, that is probably the number one best way to improve in a faster way, is just by playing with people that are better than you are. So just get one form down, whether it's pentatonic, whether it's minor, major, whatever, and then just throw yourself into the fire, and you're gonna be flying and soaring high. I stopped watching after your intro. If people don't want to learn music theory and think it's useless, they wouldn't find your videos. You come off as a prick. Bye. If the biggest hurdle this salty blues commenter of the week has is trying to make it through a very prickly 5-second intro, then he's probably going to have some problems kind of figuring the rest of it out. But anyways, that's all we got. Couldn't stop laughing for the first 4 minutes. Question, how would you describe your music listening habits? We already know that you're into Spotify, but do you consume CD or are you a vinyl fan too? Also, do you set time aside deliberately for listening to old, new music, or are you a background noise kind of listener? Yeah, I haven't really gotten into the vinyl thing yet, but my daywalker hipster attitude is probably pushing me there eventually once I make the full switch over. CDs and stuff, have not bought a CD in a long time. I think the last CD I bought was Drones by Muse, and the last CD I will ever buy will probably be Tool's next album, just for old time's sake. But I definitely listen to a lot of new music. Spotify Radio I think is really, really good for that kind of thing, just to kind of find new music. Definitely check out the new Unknown Mortal Orchestra and Mesita albums. I think those are two really cool things that just came out last week that I would recommend. But as far as really having it on in the background, I really don't do that too much. Generally it's kind of somewhat active listening, or when I'm driving. I'm in the car for probably at least an hour a day. So I do listen to a lot of new music on Spotify. I don't really have like a set thing that I do as far as old music versus new music. It's just kind of whatever is vibing at the moment, and just let it roll. Macho, I don't know, bud. Haha, hilarious intro. kind of related follow-up, I finally went to Guitar Center armed with the C major 7 chord, which worked beautifully. Thanks, man. Question, though, why do a lot of electric guitars have glossy versus satin neck finishes? The glossy ones are so sticky and slow. I noticed you had a PRS S2 Custom 24, which is the same one I really want to get, Maryland Pride, but it has that glossy finish. Is this something you just get used to, or is it something that always sucks, and I should just go with a Fender Strat or an Ernie Ball Music Man instead, which have satin finishes? As always, your videos and advice are much appreciated. Can't wait for the blues letter. So thank you so much for shouting out the intro to the QA 100 trip to the origin of the Great Salt Flats of Peru. That was definitely a life-changing journey that I had. And definitely sign up for the blues letter, which comes out on the first of every month. It kind of recaps everything we went down throughout the previous month. But yeah, neck finishes are definitely like a hot topic, a sticking point. Hey, in the guitar community, and it's something that never really bothered me. I noticed them for sure, especially the PRS S2, which I was just borrowing. I don't have it anymore. You could notice that it had a bit of a stickier finish to the neck, but it's not something that ever really bothered me. At my heart, I'm kind of like very low maintenance. I don't really care. As long as the instrument stays in tune, it's kind of fine by me. Now, the one thing I will note is like the neck finish on the nitrocellulose finish that was on the neck of my main guitar, the Strat, the 62 reissue Strat, has changed drastically over time. I remember that nitrocellulose finish was like really kind of sticky when I first got it, but it wears down over time. So just, something to keep in mind is that if you have like a primary instrument, you're going to adapt to how it plays. So as long as you have a quality, good sounding instrument, I personally think that your hands are just going to find a way around it. Now, if it's really bothering you, and if it's something that you're like really kind of into, like that's one thing. I've just personally never been that player. I know a lot of people like really have specific kind of things that they look for. But all that being said, I still think the best necks I've ever played are the Ernie Ball Music Man ones, like the Albert Lee that I have. That thing is just awesome. And from the get-go, right away, I noticed like this is like a very playable neck. So again, it's not something I personally pay a lot of attention, but it is something to be thoughtful about and really just kind of try out for yourself. But the way an instrument plays will kind of change over time too. What do you think of Johnny Cash's voice and his music? Even I would be hard-pressed to hate on Johnny Cash. I think Johnny Cash is awesome. If you watched the gig vlog from last week, I was trying to off the cuff remember how to play Ring of Fire and sing it to Maximum Failure. But yeah, Johnny Cash is the man. Definitely a huge catalog out there. I can't say I'm familiar with all of it for sure, but I like a lot of what I've heard. And it wouldn't be a Sean Daniel video unless there was at least one massively contrarian wrong opinion, which is the super popular duet of him and Bob Dylan singing Girl from the North Country, which is my favorite Bob Dylan song. I think is awful. I think they absolutely murdered what is an all-time great song. And I think by any estimation, it's just really kind of bad. But anyways, definitely love Johnny Cash. I like the movie, too. The Joaquin Phoenix one, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely a legend. Nothing but respect. So for listening homework, we're going to throw you to some Johnny Cash. And this is off the same album that Hurt was on. The Nine Inch Nails cover he did that got like universal acclaim, which, kind of rightfully so. Really well done. But did you know that wasn't even the best cover he did on that album? It was actually the Soundgarden song, Rusty Cage, which is fantastic. You should check that one out too, but I'm going to link you to the Johnny Cash one because it's pretty awesome. So thank you for watching, and as always, if you have any comments or questions, hit me up in the comments section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. Sign up for the blues letter, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.